Hey, Halfmilesniper here, and today we're going to take a deep dive into the 6.5 PRC. We've got 133 rounds through it now, so we are going to take a look down the bore. We're going to give it a quick clean, take another look down the bore. We're going to check the depth to the lands again, see if we need to change our seating depth. So, let me get a couple more things together and we'll bring you right back. So y'all sit back, kick your feet up, enjoy the ride. As I said in the intro there, we're going to take a look down the bore today. So first thing we need to do, while I'm thinking about it, let's get that magazine out of here. Wouldn't want the YouTube folks thinking that we got a loaded gun here. And we'll pull the bolt. Gun is unloaded and safe. So, have the Borescope. We're going to take a look. Got my cleaning gear. I'm probably not going to show you cleaning. We'll just do the clean, take a look, and go from there. So, give me a minute to get the Borescope set up. I'll bring y'all right back, and we'll take a look inside, see how it looks after roughly 110 rounds or so since it was last cleaned. Last time I cleaned it was after the abbreviated break-in process, so it'll be interesting. Alrighty, well, we are going to take a dive in here with the Borescope and see how it looks filthy dirty after 110-ish rounds. So here we go. Okay, let's take a very first look down the bore since we first got the rifle. This will be the first look down the bore after approximately 130 rounds, and that'll be like 110 or so since the gun was last cleaned. So let's take a look and see how things are looking. Well, there's the very beginning of the throat. And in 130 rounds, we're seeing a little bit of flame cutting. Not much. We'll see what the life is like on this barrel. Looks like we got a little bit of carbon and a little bit of copper. Let's run it all the way out to the muzzle. We'll have to see if the shiny silver spots are where the rounds are wearing through the finish on the inside of the barrel from it getting blued or nitrated or whatever the finish is on this Howa barrel. Okay, doesn't look that bad. We're going to give it a clean and we'll take another look. Well, kind of dirty. Not bad though, but definitely needed to be cleaned, or needs to be cleaned, I should say. And it looks like we're starting to get a little flame cutting right here at the throat. We'll see how it looks after we get the solvent run through it and clean up a little bit. So let me get the cleaning rod and my jag set up, and we will get to cleaning the bore. Alrighty. Well, now that we've got the bore clean, let's go ahead and take a look on the inside and see how we're looking for carbon and copper. Okay, well, let's take a look now that I've hit it with just solvent. See just a little flame cutting right there, right at the neck. And remember, when we looked at this barrel brand new, the rifling was just as dark as the exterior. So I think this is, well, it's obviously a dipped or cooked finish because it's inside and outside. But we got a little bit of copper laying in, and it looks like we might have a little bit of wear through the finish. We will, I think we're going to hit it with some carbon cleaner just to see how it cleans up. Probably going to leave the copper that's there for now. We'll see how it looks after I hit it with the carbon cutter. Well, we're going to have to hit it with some carbon cleaner. I'm going to use a product other than CLR this time. Give it a try. And then looking through trying to look beyond the carbon, it looks like we have a little bit of copper building up. Can't really tell if it's how much of it's copper and how much is the bullets actually wearing through the finish in the rifling. But we'll get the carbon knocked out first, and we will see how it looks. Now that we've got the carbon cleaner run through there, let's take a look down the bore and see how it looks without the carbon, see what kind of copper we might have. So let's take a look. Here we go. Okay, let's take a look down the bore now that I've hit it with some carbon cleaner and see if we need to hit it with any copper cleaner. Looking at that cutting, I think what we're going to do is we're going to recheck our measurement and see if our sitting depth needs to change here after 100 rounds. It's amazing how shiny that bore is. It looks wet in the reflection, but it's not. I can't tell if that's wearing through the finish and getting to bare metal, or if it's copper and wearing through the finish. I see a little bit of gold color to it, but a lot of silver. I think it's a combination of the two. Okay. Getting a little bit of copper out here at the end. I think we're going to hit it real quick. At least one dose of copper cleaner and call it clean. Well, now that we got the carbon worked out, I think we need to go in with a little bit of the copper solvent. We're going to try some of the Modern Spartan's copper and lead destroyer. We'll take a little bit of the copper out. We're going to leave some behind because we do want some gilding metal in the bore. We just don't want to have too much. So let me get set up. We'll punch the bore with some copper cleaner, and we'll take another look. Well, now that we've hit it with some copper cleaner, let's take one last look down the bore and see how things are looking. Okay, this will be after one application of mild copper solvent. It's not the heavy ammonia-based stuff. And cleaned up pretty good there. Still have a little bit out here towards the muzzle, but that's not much. I think we're going to leave it as is right now. We'll see if it gets much more buildup down the bore. But for right now, I think we're going to leave it at that. And I think next we will recheck our distance to the lands and see if we need to change our seating depth on our rounds. Well, I think we've got that bore cleaned up pretty good, so I will have to do some fouling shots before we resume testing here. We'll probably take probably 5 rounds of something that shot pretty good in initial testing, and shoot those for our fouling shot just to see how it groups freshly cleaned. We've got a little bit of what appears to be a little bit of wear in the rifling here from the bullets traveling down the bore, removing some of the finish, and we have a little bit of copper left in the rifling out here towards the muzzle. So we're going to call that clean. I'll note it in my book that we did a cleaning on it. Give me a minute to put the cleaning supplies away, and then we are going to check our distance to our lands again. Alrighty, so this morning we're going to take a look at our distance to the lands again. We're going to use the same 147 grain ELD, plus we're going to use the newly received by me 153 grain Hornady A-tips. So round on the right is the 147. Round on the left is the 153 grain A-tip. Notice it has a aluminum point as opposed to the polymer point. And we can see, get my fat hand out of the way, that the 153 grain is considerably longer. Okay, well, we will start off with the 147. I'm actually going to make a change. I'm going to take it out of the cleaning vise here so that we are tilted the other way, so I don't have to worry about losing the bullet into the bore and having to tilt the gun back up. Give me a second. There we go. I think that's a little bit better now. We'll have a better angle of attack, I think. Okay, I think that's where we need to be. Well, what do you know? Well, you know, it's still stuck in there anyways. Dang it. I'm going to have to go get my cleaning rod. Well, no doubt about that. We were definitely into the lands on that one. Let's see what our length is now. Okay, so hopefully this is showing up here. Try to get the camera where it's not getting the glare. Originally, we were at 238.15, and I set the bullets back 15 thousandths off the land, so our seating depth took us to 238.0, and now we're showing 238.2. So we have eroded the throat just a little bit. And what's really odd about that is as cool as this gun runs. We see flame cutting at the throat here in 100 rounds, yet the barrel stays pretty cool. The brass comes up like ambient temperature. Very interesting. Well, that means we have to change our seating depth for our 147s if I want to keep it at 15 thousandths for the rest of the testing. Now, we need to check, see what the length is for the 153 grain A-tips. Ease on in. Okay. I left the cleaning rod in the bore just in case. Well, what do you know? Just in case I had to knock. Well, that's weird. Probably should have put the camera on that. It pushed the bullet out of the rifling and into the chamber, and then the rod passed right over it. Okay. Now to see what our seating depth is with the 153 grain. Okay, well, the 153 grain is giving us a different dimension. Obviously, the bullet has a slightly different shape. 153 grain is into the rifling at 2.383. So, need to make note. New seating depth for the 147s is 23805. That keeps us at 15 thousandths off until I start playing with seating depth. And with the 153, we will be 23815. Interesting. That was interesting. A little bit of flame cutting. Changes our seating depth just a little bit in only 100 rounds. Well, 130. Besides changing our seating depth, we also found that the barrel has sped up a little bit in that first 100 rounds after the break-in. And real curious now how the lifespan of this barrel is going to be, because this doesn't really feel like a hot burner, but maybe that's just the initial burn, and now that the initial burn is in, it's slowed down. We'll take a look at this on a regular basis and see what's happening. Pretty interesting. Most people don't ever get to look inside their bore. I got a phone call and had to take that. Lost track of where I was. Let's see, we talked about the flame cutting, keeping a look on the inside of the barrel, keeping tabs on how it's progressing, changing the seating depth on our bullets. And I think that's about it for right now. I need to make some more test ammo. I did pick up some US 869, which I will give a try. Be curious to see how it does. I've seen some other people that didn't have very good luck with it. Be nice to see if maybe I can. Downside to the 869 is you get 20% less ammo out of it. Starting loads on the IMR 4831 and the IMR 7828 were like 10 grains lower than starting loads for the 869. So when you're looking at running 50, 55 grains charge per round and then jumping to 60, 65 grains per charge, or 69 I think is where it maxes out at. Yeah, that's a 10 grain hit. That's 20% less ammo. But if it shoots good, we can keep playing with it. You know, the idea behind hand loading is make it a little, besides making good ammo is to make it a little more economical. That's why I like charges that shoot well with the least amount of ammo. With all that, we're ready to put this rifle away for the day. It's nice and clean. We're ready to go and we'll be ready to go make it dirty again. And then we got just a couple of quick things. Some of y'all may have noticed. I've gotten the channel linked to the spring site. So the merchandise should be showing below the video here, or at least links to the merchandise should be shown below the video here if you're not running full screen. There's also a link to merchandise in the description. We do have a new shirt out, Stay Strapped or Get Clapped. Also have a coffee cup with that. And while one of my viewers slash teammates slash subscribers made me a Halfmilesniper hat, I'm working on trying to get a Halfmilesniper hat on the merchandise site. So keep your eye out for that. With all that being said, I really appreciate y'all hanging with me and watching and commenting and liking and subscribing. And thank you. I really appreciate it. And as always, stay strapped or get clapped. Carry everywhere you can. Get a CCW if you need one. If you're in a constitutional carry state, there's no reason not to be carrying. And I would still check into getting a CCW because you might travel. I know that there was we almost had 28 constitutional carry states not too long ago. 28th didn't go through, but over half are constitutional carry. So things are looking up for those of us who carry. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, this is Halfmilesniper reminding you, stay safe, keep shooting. We'll catch you next time.
Send it. Hit.